dark blue. You left me here when our time was through. And under the covers, beneath of the surface, I can't find the others that work out my purpose. I'm in the deep dark blue. I'm in the deep dark blue. Dark blue.
Welcome, race fans, to the penultimate round of Season 2 in the YCS Cup Series. We're at Phoenix Raceway, where the best of the best will go at it for a chance at the title. Only 4 drivers will make it to Homestead with their championship hopes alive. Let's take a look at who will begin this race at a deficit. We start with Clint Bowyer, recently signed on to Stewart-Haas Racing for next season. He's had a great playoff run so far, looking to continue his momentum. Just 2 points below the cut line, 1 top 10 in 3 races at Phoenix, and a decent average finish. He starts in 6th place. Next up below the cut line is the 22 of Joey Logano, still looking for win number 1 on the season. He's 3 points out, but he starts 4th place, and he has finished top 10 in all 3 Phoenix races with a 6th place average finish. So a good run today. We'll get the 22 down to Homestead. Next up below the cut line, 6 points out, that's Chase Elliott for Hendrick Motorsports. He'll start in the 5th position. He has 1 top 10 here at Phoenix. Can he continue his good playoff run? Been pretty consistent so far. Let's see if he can get it done here in the desert. And then Kurt Busch with the steepest hill to climb. He enters 11 points below the cut line, but a solid qualifying run puts him in the 2nd row, and he's got 2 top 10s at Phoenix. Can he deliver with 1 more and maybe perhaps win his way to Homestead? Here's the full starting lineup. Kevin Harvick's won the pole. He's got Jimmy Johnson on his outside. Kurt Busch and Joey Logano in row 2. Chase Elliott, Clint Bowyer row 3. Eric Almirola, Kyle Larson row 4. And then Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards in row 5. Row 6 has AJ Allmendinger and Kyle Busch. Matt Kenseth and Denny Hamlin in row 7. Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr. in row 8. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kasey Kahne, row 9. And Ryan Blaney and Michael McDowell in row 10. Row 11, it's Paul Menard and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Austin Dillon, Danica Patrick, row 12. Jamie McMurray, Chris Buescher, row 13. Behind them, it's Tony Stewart and Trevor Bayne. And then Landon Castle and Justin Allgaier in row 15. Row 16 is Greg Biffle and Matt DiBenedetto. Ty Dillon, David Reagan, row 17. Brian Scott, Casey Mears, row 18. And then Regan Smith and Jeffrey Earnhardt in row 19. It's time to settle the round of 8. We're green here at Phoenix. And for the 4th consecutive race, a driver not in the playoffs leads us to green, Kevin Harvick. Coming through the dog leg, we'll see the field kind of spread out here. Some guys going 3 wide, including Joey Logano trying to take 2nd, but Kurt Busch rolling through the middle pretty well. He challenges Jimmy Johnson for 2nd place as Harvick will lead this first lap. Kurt Busch in the runner-up spot, 6 points out, and as long as the other playoff contenders are running good, he'll have to pass his teammate and win this race to make it to Homestead. So we have a battle for 3rd now. Joey Logano side by side with the 48 on the inside, and for the lead, Kurt Busch to the outside of Kevin Harvick. I don't think Harvick's going to make it that difficult for his teammate to pass. We'll see through turn 1. It looks like Harvick's just going to concede and get right in line behind his teammate, but Kurt Busch with the lead and above the cut line, and that puts Joey Logano just 1 point above Clint Bowyer. Now he has to try and pass his rival Harvick. There's contact off of 4. Logano into Harvick again. 3 wide down the front straightaway. But a lot of contact between the 22 and the 4. Harvick's going to hunt him down through turn 1 and shove him out the way. Now Joey Logano, 0 points. He's tied with Clint Bowyer after a lot of contact with Kevin Harvick. It's getting hot in the desert as the Logano-Harvick rivalry sparks again. And now Logano's going to be 2 points out. And more contact. This is for second place. Carl Edwards shoves Jimmie Johnson out of the way in turn 1. A mirror image of what happened in Martinsville. Between those two, it was Johnson that moved Edwards for the lead. And speaking of the lead, Carl Edwards, he is rolling around this track to the inside of Kurt Busch. Busch needs this lead back. You can see 3 points below the cut line now. They're in second place, trying to roll the top lane, but Carl Edwards will cut the course down on the dog leg, try to escape the 41, but Kurt Busch hanging there on the outside. Can Carl Edwards clear him off of turn 4? Looks like he will. The 19 leading here in Phoenix. Now there's a tie on the cut line. Joey Logano 0 points above Kyle Busch there. And Logano locks up the brakes. He takes out Allmendinger and Clint Bowyer. Caution's out, and Clint Bowyer's championship may be over. Joey Logano entering turn 1, locks up the brakes, and he got into the 47. He was side by side with Clint Bowyer and just takes them both out. Too aggressive into the corner, and look at that. Rear end into the outside wall, and Bowyer comes back down the track, almost into Logano and Chase Elliott. But this will end Clint Bowyer's hopes of going to Homestead, Miami in contention for the title. As we look at it one more time, Joey Logano too hard into turn 1 and will take out a couple of cars. Allmendinger running well in the top 10, and of course, fellow playoff contender Clint Bowyer taken out as well. And while they clean up, we'll look at the replay. The fight between Harvick and Logano, their rivalry they've had all season long, it seems like. Harvick just came up the track, not letting Logano go by. I think he was trying to defend for his teammate Kurt Busch, who was leading at this time. And then Harvick gets him again. But these two both still running in the top 10. We'll see if they meet each other again as we're ready for the restart. It's Carl Edwards out front, and he takes us back green. Can Kurt Busch try to roll around the outside? He tried earlier, looking better. This time, Kurt Busch with the nose out front as Carl Edwards cuts down the dogleg. Let's see who can prevail through 3 and 4. Will they come out side by side still? Kurt Busch sideways through turn 4. He's going to lose the lead. Carl Edwards back to it. But Kurt Busch giving it all he can. And look at these two side by side again. Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick. Will there be contact? Looks clean so far through 1 and 2. Maybe a little bit of contact off of turn 2. But fighting each other down the backstretch. There's contact for sure down the back straightaway. Logano up the track as Carl Edwards comes to take the white flag. 1 to go. And look at these two. They're still going after it. Joey Logano trying to wreck Kevin Harvick into turn 1. He shoves him. He's up the track. Johnson gets tagged. He's wrecking into the wall. And the caution's going to come out. This will send us to overtime as the 48 gets inadvertently wrecked by this rivalry. The 4 and the 22, Joey Logano just aggressively into the corner. This fully intentional into the 4 car, but don't think it was intentional to wipe out the 48. And again, Jimmie Johnson, he'll win the first race of a round and then wrecks out of the next race. Very lucky to have had that win at Martinsville. But just these two aggressive driving, you wonder if the officials might step in at some point, but Joey Logano did not wreck Harvick. They are still both running in the top 5 here. So they'll have to restart near each other as Johnson just gets the worst end of that deal. Well, assuming the caution doesn't come out, we'll have 1 lap to decide who makes it to Homestead. And right now, Edwards obviously leading. Logano 3 points in. Hamlin in by 1. Kyle Busch, he's not running in the top 10. He's 1 out. Elliott 3 out. And then Kurt Busch in second. He's 5 points out. And with that, here's the overtime rules. If the caution comes out on the last lap, the race is not over. It must end under green per YCS Cup Series rules. And if the officials call the caution, 1 more lap will be added. And the leader does not have lane choice. Carl Edwards, he must restart from the inside lane. Can he hang on? We're going green. 1 to go. Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch on the front row. Kurt Busch not as strong on the outside as he was earlier in this race. Here they come through the dogleg. Joey Logano peeking to the inside. There's contact. Edwards saves it. Up the track he's going to go. They're all washing up the corner. Out of turn 4. Edwards hangs on. He's going to win at Phoenix. And joining him and Johnson at Homestead with a chance for the championship is Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. Both will make it in on points. Let's look at that again. Kurt Busch needed a stronger run on the outside. He had to win this race in the Joey Logano. Aggressive is his middle name. Look at that contact, but Edwards saves it. Everyone's up the track. Chase Elliott and Joey Logano make contact, but to the line, Carl Edwards hangs on in overtime to win his second race of the season. Carl Edwards will get the checkered flag and celebrate with the fans. A 19 car fends off a chaotic restart in overtime to claim a spot in the championship finale. And the runner-up and third place, they will join him, Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. Both made it on points. Elliott 1 point to the good over Denny Hamlin, who ends up 10th place. Imagine that, 10th place. He had 2 top 10s in this round, but they were not enough to make it to Homestead. And Kyle Busch 1 point out as well by the end. He just did not run well today. 15th place. This is his worst finish at Phoenix. He only had 1 top 10 coming into this race, but unfortunate for him, he's out. We saw Justin Allgaier. He is the big mover of the race. He finished 17th, up 13 spots from his 30th place start. So good job for the 51 car. And then as we move on here, Clint Bowyer, he was looking good enough early in this race until he got taken out by Joey Logano. Logano just an incredibly aggressive race today. Still looking for his first win of the season. Maybe he can tone it down a little bit and grab his first win in the final race. What a way that would be to win the championship. But here's your final 4. Going to Homestead, Jimmie Johnson with the stellar season 6 wins. Carl Edwards picked up his second win. Chase Elliott with the 1 win. That was the season opener at Daytona. And obviously mentioned Joey Logano makes the final 4 with no wins on the season. But this is it. 1 race to go. Homestead Miami Speedway, Saturday, November 1st at 7:30 Eastern. That's where I'll be, and I hope to see you there too. But thank you all for stopping by here in the desert, and I will see you at Homestead Miami Speedway for the championship finale.